Mitt Romney. So, you're going to run for president as a Republican. Wow, you've got one hell of a nerve, sir. You are not a Republican in any honest sense of the word. You are not a conservative on any level. You have a serious lack of integrity, and your motives are utterly self-centered. You've gotten through your whole life on your pedigree, your looks, your money, and your ability to BS people. But you know what, Mitt? The times, they're a-changin'. You're lacking the one quality that we the people now non-negotiably insist upon. That quality, sir, is integrity, and you don't have it. So you need to do all of us a favor and just go home. We don't care whether it's the $10 million lakefront compound up in New Hampshire or if you retire to your $12 million beachfront vacation compound in La Jolla. We the peasants really don't care, just as long as you get the hell out of the way. Now, Mitt, you may be saying to yourself, Ann, where's the love? I'm a conservative. I'm a Republican. Don't be a play-hater. Well, Mitt, I'll tell you, the love dried up in a big hurry when I actually researched you and your record. The more I read, the more nauseous I became. Where to begin? First, homosexual marriage. Mitt, when you were governor of Massachusetts, you single-handedly, by an illegal, unconstitutional executive fiat, imposed a new law and apparently in the recesses of your vastly superior mind nullified an existing law, thus ordering town clerks to issue same-sex marriage licenses effective May 17, 2004. There was no change in law passed by the state legislature, and there was no action or order with regards to this by the state Supreme Court. You simply concocted a new law and demanded that it be implemented, apparently under the impression that the governorship of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is a dictatorial position and not merely a branch of a three-branched constitutional commonwealth. Mitt, I'll tell you, we conservatives, we Republicans, heck, we Americans have a really, really big problem with men who think that they are dictators. We have a really big problem with people who think that they transcend the rule of law. There are two possibilities here. Either you are stupid to the point that you do not understand rudimentary diaper school civics concepts, or you're a nefarious character who believes that your superior intellect and will is itself the rule of law. Either way, you're disqualified and you need to go home, Willard. Next, let's turn to an incident in 2002 when you promised the Log Cabin Republicans in Massachusetts, which is a lobbying organization of homosexual Republicans, that in exchange for their vocal support and endorsement of you in your campaign for Massachusetts governor, that you would not oppose same-sex marriage. What we need to focus on here is the word exchange. Mitt, I don't know if a man like you even possesses the moral capacity to comprehend what I'm about to say, but let's give it the old college try. Questions of fundamental morality, questions of sin, questions of the core foundational elements of human civilization, namely marriage and the nuclear family unit, are not units of political currency to be bartered and exchanged. People of integrity either believe something or they don't. What people of integrity never, ever, ever do is put their core moral beliefs out as something to be auctioned off in some sleazy quid pro quo. Tell me, Willard, what other beliefs or principles are you willing to whore out in exchange for political support? What price would you put on, oh, I don't know, the Fourth Amendment? Or for that matter, the First Amendment? What's your price? $100 million? Your presidential library? The point is, you have no personal integrity. Men like you make me sick. Go home, Willard. There is so much more to cover. Your support of McCain-Feingold campaign finance reform, your mincing support of the McCain-Kennedy illegal alien amnesty plan, and you're jumping on the bandwagon of the most egregious scam and hoax in the history of the world, man-made global warming and carbon dioxide pollution. Hey, genius, maybe you didn't get the memo, but the 2-octillion-ton fusion gas ball up in the sky that we lowly riffraff called the sun is what determines the weather, not cars or factories or cow farts. So take your Marxist cap and trade scheme and cram it up your ass. Hey, speaking of Marxism, that brings us to Romneycare. Hey America, did you guys know that Mitt Romney implemented a Marxist socialist universal health care law in Massachusetts called Romneycare? This is the program that Obamacare was modeled off of, all the way down to the individual mandate that everyone must purchase health insurance that conforms with government coverage requirements. Did you also know that Romneycare fully finances abortion with a mere $50 copay? And Mitt Romney claims today to be pro-life. Really, Mitt? I wonder how many human beings in Massachusetts have been torn limb from limb, struggling to get away from the abortionist suction hose, or have had their skin burned off of them by a saline abortion. Or how many of the lucky ones simply and quickly had their craniums crushed and then were decapitated by a pair of forceps, all subsidized by the taxpayers of Massachusetts at your command? You're pro-life. Give me a frickin' break. Romneycare was heartily endorsed by such Marxist scumbags as Hillary Clinton, Ted Shivas-on-the-Rocks Kennedy, and that stalwart supporter of human rights and child prostitution, Planned Parenthood. Yeah, the flipping disaster that is Romneycare has essentially destroyed the Massachusetts economy, and Mitt refuses to apologize for it or even criticize it. Let's look at some of the Marxist totalitarian concepts enshrined in Romneycare that Mitt Romney authored, supported, and continues to endorse and defend. First, the individual mandate. Romneycare, like its demon spawn Obamacare, mandates that every resident of Massachusetts must purchase the service commodity of health insurance as a condition of living and residing in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And please pay special attention to what I just said. As a condition of living in Massachusetts. Living, as in existing, as in waking up, breathing. Those who fail to purchase the specific service commodity of health insurance in Massachusetts forfeit the personal exemption on their state income tax. So just to make sure you understand this, Mitt Romney, conservative Republican, advocates taxing people on their existence. Romneycare, socialized medicine. It's all for the children, well, except for the ones that are inconvenient and less than 9 months old, and then we'll frickin' slaughter the little bastards for $50. Romneycare. Now let's talk about the mandate, Willard. I have stated this in regards to Obama and Obamacare, and now I'll repeat it for you. I will not be taxed on my existence. I will not comply with any requirement to purchase a good or service as a condition of waking up, breathing in my own country. And if you think for a second that I'm going to lay down and be dehumanized by you or Obama or any other Marxist candy ass, you've got another thing coming, cha-cha. In fact, let me just break down for you what the reality of the situation would be if you were to be elected president and maintain your support of the mandate. You, Mitt, would have to put me in prison. Just the same way that Obama would have to put me in prison, because I will never, ever, ever pay a tax on my existence. Not a penny. I will never, ever surrender to Marxism. I will rot in a federal prison as a sovereign human being before I live one day on my knees under the jackboot of a Marxist state. You need to understand that if you're going to be the president and you're going to perpetuate this socialized healthcare crap with its attendant mandate, you are going to have me and millions of productive, law-abiding Americans thrown in prison because we aren't playing. You know what this is called, Mitt? It's called integrity. It's called being willing to sacrifice everything for one's principles and for the truth. Now, since you have no integrity and are willing to whore out your principles to the highest bidder, you probably won't understand what you're seeing right now. This is why you need to go home, Willard. You need to go home and spend the rest of your life striving to acquire a shred of integrity. Finally, the issue of integrity and motives. Mitt Romney wants to be the President of the United States because Mitt Romney wants to be the President of the United States. Mitt Romney thinks that he is somehow entitled to the presidency and that it is now his turn. Mitt Romney thinks that because the Republican National Committee promised him the 2012 nomination in exchange for Romney stepping aside in 2008 and handing the nomination to John McCain, that all of this is just a mere formality. Look, Mitt, we don't give a crap about what sleazy backroom deal you may have made with the RNC. The office of the presidency is not a trophy to be handed around amongst a cadre of corrupt, elitist pricks like you. It's the office of a servant. The presidency is a sacrifice, not an entitlement, and certainly not a ticket to 9-figure increases in your personal net worth. And we all know that's what you're chasing. So get the sugar plum visions of the Mitt Romney Presidential Library in La Jolla out of your mind, because it ain't going to happen, Willard. People, if you let the RNC and the media railroad you into Romney as the Republican nominee, we're going to be dead in the water. The entire electoral issue of Obamacare is going to be completely eliminated and taken off the table because Romney did exactly the same thing in Massachusetts and refuses to this day to criticize it or apologize for it. Romney is Obamacare's grandfather. How are we going to run against and criticize the disaster that is Obamacare, much less repeal it, if your elitist, corrupt insider nominee executed the template for Obamacare and financially destroyed his own state in the process? Don't you see? Obama wants to run against Romney because then he won't have to defend Obamacare. The entire issue will just go away. The RNC is completely corrupt, and so that is exactly who they are going to hand over. All they want is to keep their palms greased and to keep their seats at the table of power. Finally, I can tell you what the Romney campaign strategy against Obama will be right now. As soon as you get Romney on a stage in a debate with Obama, Romney will do nothing but kiss Obama's ass. Why? Because Romney thinks that if he does this, that Obama won't call him a racist. Newsflash, y'all, Obama is going to call anyone who runs against him a racist. You could run a resurrected Rosa Parks against Obama and he'd call her a racist because that's all Obama can do. He sure as hell can't run on his record. And I promise you, this is going to be the biggest race-baiting fiasco the world has ever seen. And Romney is going to play right into it. All of the ignorant, uninformed masses will hear during the election cycle and debates is Obama talking about how great Obama is, the media talking about how great Obama is, and Mitt Romney talking about how great Obama is to prove that Mitt Romney isn't a racist. And if we allow that to happen, guess who's going to win the election? Mitt, go home. Conservative America, wake up. Don't be played by the elitist, corrupt political establishment. Choose your own candidate, a candidate who is actually conservative, pro-life, and not a stinking Marxist. I'm Ann Barnhart, and in 2012, I'm thinking the sunrise might just be in the West.